So just how good is hunting in Ireland? Well, we travelled from London Heathrow to Dublin and then down to the Wicklow Mountains to hunt Sika with Irish Safari. Sika deer arrived in Ireland from Japan, having first been sent to London, from where they were purchased and introduced to Powerscourt Estate, County Wicklow, by Lord Powerscourt in 1860. It's thought that just one stag and 3 hinds were the original breeding stock for all Sika deer in Ireland, which now number well over 50,000. Over the years, Powerscourt encouraged interbreeding with red deer, and whilst there remain a number of pure Sika, there are today a large number of Sika red hybrid, particularly in the area of the Wicklow Mountains. And that is where we're heading to today. I'm stalking with Norman from Irish Safaris, an experienced professional stalker and commercial hunting operator. The Wicklow Mountains are located in County Wicklow and extend into the counties of Dublin, Carlow and Wexford. Spanning over 23,000 hectares south of the busy capital and tourist destination that is Dublin, they encompass stunning, wide-open vistas and fast-flowing streams that descend into deep lakes. It's a truly beautiful part of Ireland, and with my wife's family in nearby Bray and Greystones and having stayed at Powerscourt on a number of occasions myself, it's a stunning area of Ireland for which I have a strong affection. And I recall some lines penned by Martin Swords on the Wicklow Mountains. A view emerged as if to say, stop and remember well today. Treasure the memory from this day before you're on your way now, before you're on your way. So Norman, where are we hunting today?
We're north of Wicklow and we're stalking in an area not too far from Calibre. We're high up. We have the National Park on one side of us.
Yeah.
And then we have about 6,000 acres of hidden stalking. So we're in a prime area for Sika and also for hybrids.
We arrive at the ground just before sunup.
After moving from the centre where they were, they've gone slightly to the crest on the left.
Yeah.
But I know where they're going.
You can have a few over the top of the hill, what do you
They're
think?
going more into the back of this bowl for sure. You see up here,
Yeah.
up with the icing as they call it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of animals there at the moment.
Whilst the scenery is breathtakingly beautiful, this open terrain offers little in the way of cover, and after a long stalk in on a small herd of deer, there is precious little in the way of low ground and cover that will allow us to approach further out of sight.
There's more over there, but these are the ones we want.
Okay. At 425 yards, it's rangy. Retained energy with the 6.5 PRC at this distance remains a punchy 1,800 foot-pounds, but bullet drop, even with a 200-yard zero, can be as much as 2 feet. The deer are alert to our presence on the hill and are uneasy. I know what you're thinking, getting closer, but we can't, and a lifetime of experience and plenty of practice on the range, and I know that I'm perfectly capable of shots at this distance. But arrogance can bite you in the arse sometimes, and as I commit to squeezing the trigger, the deer steps off, and I'm reminded of the importance of anticipating the deer's behaviour. Paper targets are one thing, shooting flighty deer is quite another. Thankfully, as the deer disappear over the horizon, I'm relieved that Norman and cameraman Connor both confirm a clean miss. Okay, so Norman here, he did his job. He got me on some hinds, 388 I think, wasn't it? So pretty rangy. And I made the schoolboy error of committing to a shot. I decided I was going to take it in my head, and I took it just as the animal was moving off to the right. Stupid. Really committed to it.
You see, the thing is, a lot of people will also query, so why a long shot?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you stalk closer? We've stalked these animals for over 2,000 metres at this stage, and they were getting very, very alert. They knew we were there.
They were jittery, weren't they?
They were getting really, really just on like the last, they were getting ready like to bounce. You could see them.
And I think it's always when you've got a group of deer, you're focusing on one, that one moves off. You get onto another one, that moves off.
Exactly.
You re-engage another one, that moves.
And then
you're constantly moving on to different
yeah,
targets.
you're losing ballistics, like everything is starting to go wrong. But we're seeing plenty of animals.
Lots of animals on the hill.
A lot of animals here, but it's not over yet.
Yeah, but there we go, clean miss that time. So I'll hold my hands up to that one.
We'll keep
As I
going.
say, a bit of a schoolboy error.
It's
Made
not
the job
over
a little
yet.
bit harder.
It's not over yet.
Fingers crossed.
No, come on, let's have some fun.
Of course, the bullet arrives long before the sound, but even so, skittish deer can react like coiled springs in the second that it takes to squeeze the trigger and for the bullet to arc out to 425 yards. About an hour later, and another opportunity. This time a stag presents itself at 350 yards. Some crackers there, aren't there? Yeah. Got him. Yeah. Right, moving. Moving. I'm having an absolute mare today. A bad workman blames their tools, they say, and maybe that's true. But I have to say I'm frustrated with the action of this Christensen Arms rifle, which along with my failure to recognise that the bolt has been knocked out of position as I take it off my shoulder, indeed it seems that it cannot be locked down. Oh, fuck. Oh, walked off again! Leads to this stag disappearing over the horizon, who is also off like a coiled spring, just as I squeeze off the second shot of the day. Fuck's sake. I've done it again. You wouldn't believe what happened there. First of all, on the stag, absolutely felt like bang on, perfect. Stood broadside, didn't he, Norman? Lovely 8-pointer, beautiful stag. And I'll show you this in a minute. The bolt's up. Squeeze the trigger, nothing happens. Get the bolt down, and exactly the same bloody thing happens. You did just the right thing. He stopped beautifully. He stopped at the stag. Norman shouted at him, which is exactly the right thing to do, because he just kept on moving up the hill, and I think he's not going to stop. And I'm having to readjust all the time. And gradually you get more and more uncomfortable because you're starting to shift. Norman shouted, he stopped, the bolt's up. And in truth, I think, Norman, I have to say on this rifle, it's a very nice rifle, but in the safe position, the bolt lifts. And I've obviously knocked that on my shoulder and I've taken it off.
Look for every possible way to see is there like a locking mechanism, and I don't believe there is, because you can't push the trigger forward either.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
No.
So it just lifts up on your shoulder.
And it's
still on fire, but
it's something to be mindful of. You know, what a lot of safety catchers will do is when they're in the safe position, they will lock the bolt in the locked position, so the bullet is locked into the chamber. But this one, you can see that's in the safe position now, and the bolt's up. So then the bolt's up, I switch the safety catch off, go to take the shot, and of course it won't fire for nothing. Fuck's sake. No, not yours. Again, you did everything right, Norman. I mean, it's a rangy shot, 360 that one was it. But doable, perfectly doable.
But he was a fantastic animal.
He was he was a beauty, absolute beauty. So there we go, it happens to everyone. And first one, bolt up.
I mean, you don't, every time you go for a stalk, if you shoot an animal, it doesn't happen. For one thing, you're a liar. It does not happen. I don't care who you are from any part of the world. Everyone misses. Everyone makes a screw up. I make screw-ups. It happens, and you learn from that.
He's been kind to me, isn't he?
No, but I mean,
The truth is,
if
you're
you've seen
right.
my chamois hunt last year, 80 metres, a clean miss,
Yeah.
and I wanted to break the rifle off the tree,
Yeah.
and then it stood for the second shot. But look, everyone misses, and
Gents,
it's a rosy distance.
you can see a good guide from a bad one, because some of them make their clients feel better when they balls up. A clean miss is the next best thing to a clean kill, but I have to admit that at this stage in the chase, it's of little consolation, and there is some internal dialogue going on. Inwardly, I'm having a word with myself. Professional that he is, there's no hint of pressure from Norman, but I'm annoyed and frustrated with myself and can sense that the team is tired. What's more, with just one day on the hill and with the cameras rolling, 1 hour later, as a final opportunity presents itself at 376 yards, the pressure is palpable.
there's 8 in a group together.
Yeah.
Right, you've got one big heavy pile of rocks,
Yeah.
really obvious looking
Yeah, I've
stones. They're just underneath them rocks.
I can see them with the naked eye.
You can see them?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see them.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to use this.
Yeah, get on that too.
So I take a second to compose myself and mentally picture the strike before taking what will surely be the last opportunity of the day. It feels good, the deer make a dash, and as is usual with larger calibers, I briefly lose the sight picture. A second later, and I'm on it again, and I'm reassured to see a perfectly placed bloody exit wound before the hind collapses a second later. Brilliant. Thank you, Norman.
Good shot.
Good shot. I love that. That was brilliant.
343 metres on the money.
So what's that?
19
That's probably
clicks.
370, 380 yards, something like that, isn't it?
385 yards.
I'll tell you what, it was lucky though, because she stood absolutely perfectly still,
textbook.
broadside.
But even the reaction after the shot, I mean, like it's not that often that you get to see like the reaction and the blood, everything, and that was like your classical textbook.
Yeah.
I seen the reaction. She just lurched forward. It's like your typical heart and lung shot.
Yeah. Well, I lost her initially because
Yeah.
I'm kind of zoomed in at about 12 there for a slightly longer shot.
Yeah.
I lost her, and then I reacquired her as she was coming down the hill on her run.
Yeah.
And I could just see the blood pumping.
I could see it.
Yeah.
You could see that the hair tufts first, when you fired at the impact. You could see that puff,
Yeah.
and the next thing, she was just really
I'll
pumping
tell you what,
hard.
you've got some deer on this ground, haven't you?
A lot of animals.
Yeah, it's not the 8-point stag that we had over there,
No,
but
it's
you know
not,
what?
but I mean,
I got just as much satisfaction out
I mean,
of
it's
that.
a fantastic shot. At the end of the day, we strive for like just a perfect shot, like a humane kill.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's like a trophy animal or if it's a calf. We want a humane kill, and that was a humane kill.
I get just as much pleasure out of that.
Yeah.
It's the stalk, it's the shot, and my God, I mean, you've got some absolutely beautiful ground here and a lot of animals as well.
Nice.
Okay, so we've caught up with our hind, lovely big hind. How old would you say she is? Any idea?
She's got a big back.
Sort of, what do you say, young, medium, middle-aged?
She's about 4 or 5.
4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, she had to have the calf before as well, so she's about 4 to 5.
I'm trying to find my shot placement, as is typical with a lot of these deer. They're very hardy animals. They'll swallow up that shot. But if I roll her over, you'll see the exit wound here. Little tiny bit further back than I would like, maybe an inch or two. But I'll tell you what.
Sika, actually.
Oh, really?
There's like her elbow joint.
Yeah.
Your heart and lung is perfect.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, no. There you go.
Well, deliberate or not,
It
a couple
worked.
of inches higher, but further back than where I was aiming. And yeah, a dead deer running, wasn't she?
She was dead in her feet. She didn't go any more than maybe 25 metres max.
Yeah, no, brilliant.
Oh,
Very
we have a
pleased with
result. That's the main thing.
that. Yeah. No, I'm chuffed to bits. Thanks, Norman.
She's
It's
nice.
great.
She's got lots of fat. She's nice and healthy.
Yeah, they're good-looking beasts, aren't they?
They're
Sika?
beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
They're just out on their own.
And that frown line so distinctive.
The
isn't
mask,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, you call it the mask.
We call it the mask here. All very distinct, like especially at evening hunting when you're just kind of watching for them. Always look for like a little V shape. It's always the first indication. Of course, on the rump, and then your metatarsal.
Yeah.
But you can also see
Very
on
distinctive.
them. It's really distinct. that
Yeah.
is.
The last time I saw a Sika red hybrid was at Powers Court. We were staying down there. I've actually got family nearby in Greystones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my wife's family are there, so we were staying there. And my God, the spread on those antlers and the strength in the body is.
I mean, we advertise for
extraordinary.
Sika as our main quarry species, like for clients and guests coming to Ireland. But since we started to actually notice like the hybridization over the years, and I think the last 10, maybe 15 years, I have a deep fondness for stalking them. And like if I see Sika on the head, obviously I get like excited. But when I see those big hybrids, they're just so big, they're so powerful, and it's just something different to hunt. And like, we love hunting them, but they should never be treated as anything else other than a deer. Not as like an invasive species, not as vermin, nothing. They're still a fantastic animal to hunt.
They're a magnificent species,
Beautiful.
there's no doubt.
And the meat, incidentally, tastes slightly different than a Sika, believe it or not, even though it's a hybrid. The meat is similar to like a red deer.
Yeah.
But I just love them, even just thinking now back there.
I'm glad you raised the taste and flavour profile of the meat, because to be honest with you, I mean, I wasn't stalking Sika until a few years ago, and that was down in Dorset.
Mm-hmm.
But since I've been tasting Sika, I think they're one of the best.
The Sika is probably the best meat. I've eaten all the species. I've eaten African game, North American game, and Sika would be the best.
Yeah.
Just medium to rare, onions, mushroom. Just keep it simple.
Stop it, we're getting hungry, aren't we? As I depart the Wicklow Mountains, I take heed of the words of Martin's swords. Stop and remember well today. Treasure the memory from this day before you're on your way now, before you're on your way. It's a good message. My trip to Ireland has been one of my most memorable trips of recent years, albeit I will stop and remember well some of the reminders that I've had about the challenges of engaging flighty deer at extended ranges. So that's it from the Wicklow Mountains in Ireland. Thanks for watching.